It is time for this or that. With both cards in hand, which would you play? Once again, we are going to be coming from Tarkir Dragonstorm, bringing 2 cards from that set in that box. And tonight, it's going to be, this is going to be Mistrise Village, which is a non-basic land card featuring a moss-covered village at the base of a mountain. And its ability, other than using it for an island, is spend 1 island and tap this card. The next spell you cast this turn can't be countered. So that's this card tonight. That tonight is Dalkovan Encampment. Another non-basic land card featuring a massive tent-filled base, also at the base of a mountain, or a mountain range. And its ability, other than using it for a plains, is spend 2 colorless and 1 plains and tap this card for the ability that reads, whenever you attack this turn, create 2 1/1 red warrior creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. So, Michael, a little bit different approach than we've seen in the past where we pit 2 creatures against each other. Tonight we're talking about lands, and these lands might not find themselves in the same deck, but if you had them both in your hand or both in your strategy, which do you play?
I have a question.
Please.
Mistrise Village. The spell you cast can't be countered. Does that mean ward? Like, if I'm trying to cast a spell on a ward creature, does this now override that ward and allow me to cast it? Or does ward still counter it?
No. So the ward is as far as targeting a spell. So a ward cost has to be paid.
Okay. So that's like just flat out.
Yeah,
but
this is just like for...
There's no like enchantment or instant that would override it.
There's no enchantment or instant that can override that, the ability of this card tonight, Mistrise Village, where once you spend the island, tap that card, the next spell you cast this turn can't be countered. Your opponent will not be able to stop anything that comes out of your hand that you're playing after you do that ability of that card.
Well, these cards in hand, which do I choose? This is tricky because you know that I've been playing with a red deck and ramping with tokens. So that one, having 2 attacking creatures pop out there would be really nifty with that card I'm using. It's that, I think it's a legendary orc where it doesn't allow creatures to be sacrificed at the end of the step. So this would be a powerful card, but when we're pinning these together in general terms, I'm drooling over the next spell you cast can't be countered. And that's from all my reps in Arena over the weekend. I finally passed the tutorial and played a bunch. And, thank you for your help too, teaching me. But, dude, having a spell I know will be cast is just so valuable that, dude, I'm going with this, the Mistrise Village.
Beautiful choice. I was really trying to tempt you into the Dalkovan Encampment.
I can see it was working.
I actually had a different land card to pit them against each other because they were going to be a little bit more even, but I figured, why not throw that one in there? And, there's actually nothing wrong with the Encampment card that tonight, because at the end of the day, there's strategies that work with it, just like the deck that you're bringing up, which was a red, white, and black deck. Very heavily based off of mobilizing creatures and creating these warrior tokens that if you can keep them alive and they don't disappear, wow, how incredible is that? Because this land can produce 2 more to add to your army. But overall, as far as mana cost and this land, that 1 mana, or technically 2, because this land, Mistrise Village, would also have to be tapped, but to prevent your opponent from screwing up your next spell, especially if they have blue lands or if they've got treasure tokens where they might be able to play a blue spell, this tonight is going to be the hands down winner. It just prevents your opponent from crushing you pretty much early game to late game. And now that you've played Magic a healthy amount in the last few days and weeks, Michael, pre-combat, you may not cast any spells. And this is going to be that card that can really help you show your opponent all your land being untapped during combat, see if they try to pull anything fancy, and then after combat, now you still have land to say, okay, let me now conclude my turn in my second May phase by spending an island, tapping this mana, and then the next spell I cast cannot be countered, knowing that that's going to show up on the battlefield. So I agree with you completely tonight. You didn't get fooled by it, but again, nothing wrong with Dalkovan. I would just argue that Mistrise definitely a stronger card, especially with that mana cost. So solid choice, and great job.